This is a resume review of a property manager. So safe to say to everybody, I've never recruited for a property manager before. What I was finding were a bunch of different keywords, so these are not 100% as much as I would like, but they are pretty solid, so you're going to expect to see them in a lot of job descriptions. We want to know that you have managed multiple projects across different, brain. I'm still sick and tired, so this review, just to let everybody know, I may be missing more things than normal, which again, if your resume is good enough to get past a sick and tired recruiter, it is a fantastic resume. So, I need to know that you've done multiple projects against different properties, overseeing construction activities. I need you to see that you've monitored project cost schedules and billing, and again, I don't need to go into crazy detail, I just need to know really that you've been able to do that, that you've used Microsoft Office suites, and bilingual is a plus. It is not required. You probably won't be rejected for not including it, but if you do know more languages, it's always beneficial to include. So this person has applied to 1 in 25, assuming that is accurate, which is very good, which I'm expecting the bullet points to be solid, but the based on out of my corner of my eye formatting to be bad, which again doesn't always matter as much. I would much prefer a good bullet points over good formatting. And if anybody else needs help or they need their resume reviewed, please just, submit it below. I'm here to help. So, away we go. There's also a couple of others. Like I said, these are not an exhaustive list. So, efficiently managed. First off, everything here should be in past tense. This is not a huge issue. It just makes the resume flow better. So, efficiently managed 70 retail rental units, 1 retail space, and an on-site daycare. That actually is pretty solid. I would like to know a little bit about how you maintain high operational standards, but this already kind of hits the top one. Recruit, train, and oversee team. Okay. Achieve 90% tenant satisfaction through prompt resolution. Running content for tenant complaints. Yeah, I mean, these are already pretty solid. This is what I was expecting. This formatting is awful, but again, I'd rather good bullets than good formatting. Hopefully you have both. So what you do want to do is use this formatting. It's below 10.5 Arial. Please use single column. No resume is ever improved by double column. I have yet to be proven wrong by that. No resume should be double column. I would prefer that the MS Office would be somewhere here in just how you used it, along with Outlook and maybe 1 or 2 more tools. But 1 in 25 is a fantastic ratio, and based on what I was seeing, there wasn't a ton of job requirements, so this wouldn't a ton of applicants. So formatting matters less, which is also kind of the thing, is that the better the market, the more lenient you can get on the resume, which it seems okay. Again, this is not an industry I've ever recruited for, and I have to find the keywords beforehand. I think my gut is telling me, besides the formatting, which is not good, you might be missing a couple of keywords, but not a ton. Maybe a couple of specifically property management tools. Probably you do want Microsoft Office Excel in there, and then probably I would say an additional, like, the actual costs. I don't need a ton, but I would like to know sort of the overall cost of what you were managing, that kind of thing, just from a basic details point. And then how you build stuff was one. No, here it is. Here, yeah, I need to know how you did this, right? You can't just say reviewed and accurately coded bills. I want to know how. And it's not a major thing. Like, you don't have to say I was the best biller. You just need to say, like, reviewed and coded bills using our CRM or ATS or blah 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 system for approval of payment across 18 properties. So overall, not a terrible resume, even with the formatting. You need to give me a little bit more details, and the reason you're having trouble giving me details is because this is the only thing I care about, and it's scrunched up to the side. Never do double columns. This is one of the main reasons why. And if anybody else needs their resume reviewed, submit it below. Or if you need more help, stop on my Twitch live stream. That's where I do this stuff every Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11 a.m. PST at twitch.com/headlessheadhunter. And yeah, again, this is not a terrible resume. I don't want people to think, this is awful, the recruiter hates it. It's okay, but you should be getting more than 1 in 25 based on your market. So a software engineer, 1 in 50 would be fantastic. 1 in 25 is fantastic. When jobs have been appearing for like up to a month and there's only been 30 applicants, which based on a quick search is the case for this. 1 in 25 is not as good. I think that's like a C-, right? But we want to move it up. You just need to tell me a little bit more keywords, but more accurately, rather than just the keywords, I need to know how. You can't just throw keywords at me. You need to show how you did that and why you did that. So does this pass? Again, yes, but it's not, the 1 to 25 is not as good as people think it is for this particular industry. So let's go to the next resume. This is a software engineer resume. What type? I don't know. You need to tell me. The exception to that is interns. All intern software engineers have largely the same keywords, but once you actually get full-time work, please tell me. Maybe at FANG it's different, but I've not worked at FANG. I've worked at other Fortune 500 companies, but you really need to tell me what type of software engineer you are. It really helps because I need it. I absolutely need it, so please give me that information before you submit it. So, this person has a 150-to-1 ratio, which means this is probably a garbage resume. And they said this was getting interviews last year, but not this year. And that is probably because, well, first off, this year is... that's actually not great. That's not good. We want you to get more. It's actually kind of shocking that this was getting last year because the IT market kind of crashed in late 2022. So that does mean you were getting something 23, which was actually pretty impressive. So... what kind of engineer you are. I don't know. Where's your education? Should be at the top. People argue about that in the comments. Keep arguing with me. I'm going to say it. Education should be at the top in 9 out of 10 places. So this needs to be at the top. Again, it's beneficial to do that. Let's see. If you are looking for a visa, though, that would tank your... that would essentially tank your application ratio, because if you need like somebody to sponsor, you're going to have to apply to like 3 times as much. But let's go to the actual content, because I don't know if that's the case or not. And you would actually tell me in the normal ATS if you submitted this to me, but again, I'm not recruiting for this position. So, improve the automated software timesheet by Python. Okay, Python is good. Built employees overtime. Okay, optimize. I don't care. Connection in C#, PyTest, Raspberry. Okay. I'm actually thinking that you're probably getting interviews because you didn't have this, because these bullet points are bad. These are just really bad bullet points overall. Validated new clients, Y-chip, and using Python, legacy system, updated hardware testing, and can be debugging tools can be. Again, these are not very good bullet points. So, a good bullet point. There are 2 types of bullet points, okay? This is important for everybody, not just software engineers. Everybody argues with me. Well, I don't know how else to tell you. This is how recruiters do it. And a lot of hiring managers, actually. So the very first bullet point under each job needs to be a summary of your overall duties that a toddler could understand. Which this actually isn't a bad summary. That should be your very first summary bullet under each job. What you did. This is because a lot of companies' titles don't mean the same. So this allows the person to understand that even if you have a different company title, you still did the same work. Then every other bullet point under that job, besides the first, needs to be what, which is a keyword, how you used it, and why you used it. If it's not on the job description, I don't really care. I don't think I really care about Raspberry Pi. I mean, admittedly, maybe that's very niche, but I've not seen that. PyTest could be one, but I don't know what you did here. All I know is you used C, Python, and SDL and Agile. Like, this is your best sentence of this entire thing, which is contributed to code reviews and followed best practices in software development lifecycle, SDL, and Agile methodology for iterated development deployment. I want you to write the rest of them. Like, this is a good keyword. This is a good one. Agile and SDL CR. But again, I need to know what kind of software you are, because I don't know if you're Python or C or both. I don't know if you're full stack. I assume you're either full stack or back end, but I don't know. And the person who is reviewing your resume is not going to know either, so you need to tell them. If it's not on your resume, it doesn't exist. It doesn't matter if X implies Y. Never assume. The point of a resume is failure reduction, and this has a lot of cases for failure. So your bullet points are all bad. Your formatting isn't terrible. All you really need to do is not bold anything here. And again, put your education up top. Yes, you definitely should do that. And then redo your bullet points. This is a bullet point issue over basically anything else. So that is why this is 150 to 1. And I don't want to say like, your bullet points suck, you suck, because that's not the case. I want to make sure you get a job. That's why I want to be extra harsh. I want to be the villain of reviewing your resume so that when you send it to actual companies to get jobs, you get employed. So that is why I'm being so harsh. Is I want you to succeed. I actively do. I don't like when people are out of work. But this would not fly, especially in today's economy. So your bullet points are bad, and it's a keyword issue. Let's go to the next resume. This is a full stack software engineer. So thank you very much for telling me what it is. I can actually get the keywords. The keywords for this are an updated list from, I don't think the last video, but a couple of videos before. I have a keyword list of a lot of jobs that I have, but sometimes I have to look them up beforehand. And you need to continuously update them because what worked about 4 months ago may not work now. And in this case, the list is mostly the same, but here is where they differ. TypeScript is preferred, but Python could be beneficial too. Again, ideally I'd want TypeScript, but a lot of them also say Python. Hopefully you have both. JavaScript, CSS, HTML, Node, Angular, Next.js, SQL, React.js, API REST, Cloud, Agile, CI/CD, and cross-functionally. Apparently, that has been added since the last time, as they want a lot of the full-stack developers to work cross-functionally. So, just across different departments. So, this person has a 1 to 150 ratio, which is not good. They apply to 5+ jobs a day, which is solid, especially if you're still working. And they get roughly 1 interview every 250 applications, which is not good. They live in a competitive metropolitan area of the U.S., and they're constantly running into roadblocks in their job search. They hope that by reviewing this resume, help me find a job. That is my goal, is to get you a job. I followed much of your advice and hope to get some feedback. Okay, cool. Perfection. So let's review. This resume is not going to work. So typically when something doesn't work, it is both a bullet point issue and a formatting. I'm still absolutely exhausted and running on fumes. So, formatting wise, this doesn't work. Now, hold on, Lee. What's the difference? The difference is when you make it look like this, it looks a lot cleaner. And I want you to make it look like this. Again, it's not going to take you more than like 10 minutes to fix the formatting. There's no line in between them. There's no line in between this. This is a singular line. Is there I don't know what emergency preparedness is or how it is relevant, so I think this can be a single line with your GPA. No bold, none of this should be bolded, none of this should be bolded. And then you're basically there. And then again, city and state. You absolutely want to put your city and state, and then if you are a U.S. citizen or green card holder, do put that. It reduces the chances that they will be discriminatory against you, which I don't do that. I give everybody a fair shake, but I'd be lying to say if there weren't some bad actors in every industry. So, and there's a reason we have those laws, is to protect people. So they are written in blood, unfortunately. But let's look at the actual stuff. So formatting is not great, but again, easy to fix. Full stack software. Sorry, my dog is being weird over in the corner. I love you, buddy. I don't know what that was. All right. Deployed a GPT applied with React, Angular, TypeScript, and Python. That is solid, boosting user satisfaction with company support. I don't know if I really care about that, but this is okay. This is where you can add, like, was it in an agile environment, etc., etc. So it does have Angular, it does have Node. No, it does. It has Angular and React, which is good, and Python, but I honestly think the order of this should be switched. Optimize is using Python, OpenAI, LangChain, API, again, API, JavaScript, Figma. Okay, so here's kind of the problem. You don't necessarily need all of these, but I only found 4, 5, 6. I want a little bit more, and these bullet points are a little anemic. You've been there for about 1.5 years, brain not working, 1 year and a couple of months, so you could probably go with about 4 bullet points here. I want to see SQL, which is primarily what I'm missing. I do like the TypeScript and the Python. I do like the API. I am missing Cloud and Agile. Those are the main things I'm missing is SQL, Agile, Cloud, and then if you can throw in a cross-functionally, you do. So that's what I'm missing with that. Again, this is not terrible, but it could be a lot better, especially if you're having a 250 to 1 ratio. Built and integrated a portal using Java, JavaScript, and HTML. That's good. Boosting status. Again, I don't care about satisfaction. All right, not all things need to be brags. In fact, most things don't need to be brags. So collaborated with Agile, RESTful API, that's fine. So Agile Framework, SQL, that's okay. So actually, these bullet points, while not great, I don't think are the worst. They definitely can be fixed with better formatting and redoing this, but I do want to let you know a actual thing of how ATSs work. There's a lot of misinformation about what an ATS does. They assume that it parses through all your information and looks at AI. The fact is, it's a first come, first serve basis. On 90% of the cases, no, not 90, 99% of the cases, the base default setting for ATS, such as Workday, ADP, and I forgot the last one that I worked. That's embarrassing. It's on my LinkedIn. For those, the ATSs, the basic format is just first come, first serve. So if you are applying to a software engineer position, a full stack, and there is 150 people already in queue, it's likely that your resume may not get seen. So it's very important to apply quick and fast. And I think this resume, while not good, would have passed about 3 years ago, but doesn't now. It is probably the fact that you're getting a 1 to 250 is you might be applying too late. So speed matters. It definitely does. So to summarize, your formatting's off, your bullet points are bad but not horrible. They could just use a little bit of tweaking, and you may be applying to jobs too late. That might be a case, or they may, so make sure to put your city and state, make sure to apply early, quick, and fast, and fix up the formatting and the bullet points. So let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a FPGA design engineer in the Netherlands. So I've recruited for this like once or twice, like 2 years ago. And what we're going to be looking for is not all of this. I want to be clear. You don't necessarily need all of this. You just need some of this. And this is not an exhaustive list. So degree, FPGA, and Xilinx are most common. MATLAB, C, C++, and Python. You don't need all of this, preferably just 1 or 2 of this list. We really do want to see like circuit, automation, analog, and electrical. That'll be very important. Communicate well with technical and non-technical people. Digital signal, software design, radios, and FS system design. That one's more specific. So, again, you don't need all of these, and this would be sort of industry dependent on what you're going for. But this person from the Netherlands sent me this resume. They just kind of wanted to know what the US job market for this type was, and based on what I remember and a quick search, it's pretty good. The market for FPGA design engineers seems relatively solid. There was job postings that have been up for like a month with only 40 candidates, or been up for like a week with 20, which is solid. So it looks like it's still pretty good, which does mean that people are going to be more lenient on the resume. They said this resume in particular has given them a ton of interviews, like a 1 in 5, 1 in 15. Is the formatting off? Yes, but again, they're in the Netherlands, and I'm not recruited in the Netherlands. Things may be very different in the Netherlands. So, electrical engineer, years experience, a fresh grad, what behind the years, curious knowledge, and explore challenge. Again, I wouldn't necessarily put this, but I don't recruit in the Netherlands, and things can be different. So, university, masters, engineering, integrated, Bloom filter. I see what they did here. VHDL was a keyword. So, again, not how I normally would have done it, but I'm not in the Netherlands, and this is working. So, okay, algorithm by Feroic Layer. Okay, so work experience, mining change mathematics. This was a note for me, specifically. The red was a note for me. Fluent in Dutch and English. Yep, FPG power consumption for multiple on-chip resources. This is what I would look. To Xilinx, yeah, this is it. VHDL and Python, reasonably quick updates. So MATLAB, yep. So again, is the formatting here not what I want to see? No. Is this resume perfect? No. But this, when you're in a phenomenal market, you can have bad formatting, because I say on average, recruiters will take about 15 seconds to look at a resume. In a phenomenal market, we can spend 2 minutes because we need to make sure. And yeah, I think you could probably maybe get even more with a little bit of better formatting, but this is solid, and those recruiters are going to be combing this over to find the right stuff. And you do actually have it. So I did see MATLAB. I did see Python. Yes, is it good that it's here? No, but you know, when you're in a phenomenal market, you take what you can get as a recruiter. And I did see like circuits and degrees and FPGA. So this definitely works. If this market was as crowded as every other market, no, I don't think this would work. But, you know, you don't need it that much. You have everything you need in that market, and that's working, and you may not need to change it. So good on you. Let's go to the next resume. This is a resume review of a front-end dev. They have refracted the CV to follow what principle is better. There's any change I should make, please let me know. Okay. So this is much better. Formatting wise, let's see if they actually have the keywords. This is for front-end dev, so thank you very much for putting this up. We're looking at JavaScript, React, Angular, JS, HTML, CSS, PHP, SQL, Scrum, RESTful APIs, SEO, WordPress, Git, Docker, Jira, Vue, Next. Again, I don't need all of these. I just need most of them, like 75%. And then a bonuses, any extra languages, Cloud, UI, UX, SAS, SASS, and TypeScript. So, this is fine. Let's see. Built an interactive front end for a university managed focus on creating. Okay, now here's the problem with this already. Is this is a prime part to put your keywords in, right? Built an interactive front end for a university course management system using blank. This is where you can put using JavaScript, TypeScript, HTML. That's what I want. Also, the formatting of this is a little off. Again, I want it to look like this. I don't know why this is wrong. Like, these are off, but that's not a huge issue. But again, you want every chance you can get, because it's really rough searching for a job. Developed a responsive UI using React, JS, and TypeScript, leveraging Chakra. I don't care, leverage. Enhance user experience. Okay, so here's my issue. You kind of focused on the wrong keywords, right? Like React, that's nice, but I need more than just React. TypeScript is good, but that's a bonus for front end. And so again, there's React. So that's 2 Reacts and a bonus one. So that's basically just one keyword. UI, again, that's a bonus. That's a nice to have. Is it good to have? Yes, but we need other ones. Again, React, REST API. That is maybe good. Probably good for this API at least. So that's really only 2 keywords. You had some bonus ones, but I need the JavaScript. I need the Angular JS. I need the HTML, the CSS, the PHP, the SQL, the Scrum, the Agile, the SEO, the WordPress, the Git, the Docker, the Jira, the Vue, the Next. Again, I don't need all of these, but I need like 75% of them, especially this one is the most important ones. So maybe they have it in the next one. No, we have RESTful API with Node.js. Again, this is more full stack than it is front end, and I know you use that to handle, but you specifically wanted front end. Also, their ratio is 150 to 1. That's why this is bad. So this is not just me harping on them. This is the fact that they are getting 150 applications out to 1 interview, which is not good. CRUD emblem. So again, this is the issue. I've found 3 things. 3 things in the... I can't click on that because that's a hyperlink to the entire thing. I saw API, which is good. I saw React, and I saw SQL. Again, that's it. I saw a lot of the bonus. I saw the UI UX. I saw the TypeScript, but that's a bonus. I need more than that. Using JavaScript, okay. Good. HTML, that one's okay. Object-oriented. So again, I it shouldn't be down here, right? Like, you have to scroll all the way down here. What I want people to focus on is, people ask me, Lee, what is the size of a resume that needs to be there? Is it 1 page? Is it 2 pages? Or 3 pages? And the answer is, it's the first half of your first page. Everything else is gravy. I don't know if that translates. Everything else is perfunctory, right? It's nice to have, but not needed. But what's important is the first half. And in the first half of your resume, I see three things that I'm looking for. So please, please, please add those keywords that we're looking for, because it's possible that they may not even get down here, which you can't even see. The stuff that is visible right now on the screen is the stuff that most people care about, especially in an impacted market. Is it fair? No, it's not fair. It's not just. But I can't teach you how to change the game. I can only teach you how to play it. So that's it for this resume review video. Join me in the next video, or join me on my live stream at twitch./whatever. It's in the link below, Headless Headhunter. My God, I need to remember that. And if you need help, submit it. I'm here to help. Thank you all, and away we go.